exactly. It doesn't help us at all. Oh, sorry. I apologize. When you turn on the TikTok app, hold on here, let me make sure I'm on the right setting. I think I'm on the right setting. I hope I'm not on the Wi-Fi. I hope I'm not on the Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is nothing but trouble for me. If I'm on the Wi-Fi, I don't know. Being prepared for a choppy adventure. It's not nearly as cold as I thought it would be this morning. Hello, Carly. Hello, Michelle Price. Hello, Paula. Like this. Hello, IDK. Who is IDK? I don't know. Who is Law Rocky? Who is Everlasting Bloom? Who is Michael? I couldn't see his name. Stephanie Walls. Hoss. Tiger. New York City Glamour. Kenny Ray White Wolf. Michael Rivers. I'm not sure what the demographic mix of my... hello, Marcy. Thank you for calling me sweetie. Marcy's kind of a cute name. Marcy Humphreys. I wonder what the demographic breakup... I know they have it. I think for a while it started out like 65 to 70% women. I don't know why. Because I think I was open and honest from the beginning and kind of just vulnerable. And I think maybe that appeals to... I don't know, people of the fairer sex. But over time, I've talked a lot about divorce, the impact on men, and mental health, and substance abuse, drinking as it connects to being a dad, and, you know, that sort of thing. And I think that has brought the numbers almost even in terms of viewership. And you know, it doesn't matter to me either way. I'm just happy for anybody watching, because hopefully something I say resonates with somebody, male or female. But I hope what I'm doing helps somebody other than me. Or if it just helps me, maybe that's okay too. But good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. I left my watch. I'll have no idea how long I'm talking for. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is, I don't know, it's after 6 o'clock, because I don't have my watch. It is August 27th, and it's Sunday morning. Happy Sunday. Wow, what a nice crowd we have today. 236 people watching. That might be some kind of record. It's 7:22. Thank you, Tyler. Omar Gonzalez, thank you so much for following the creator. If anybody's watching for a first time, I so appreciate if you'd follow my page. I have a lot of fun on this. I've been going live for about, in different forms and formats for about 4.5 years now, just kind of talking about stuff and talking about life. And it started when I was in a real low place and had broken up with a woman in my dreams. And I say this story a lot. And I was living in a dark apartment, and I was missing her and the house and the family and everything. And it was a real hard time for me. And I just started talking. And I started talking on a live show. People started watching, connecting with me and going, hey. Called When a Person Needs Attention Constantly. I don't know, Colonel Lingus, what kind of personality disorder is it when a person needs attention constantly? But anyway, for those that have been watching a while, you know, it's not just a show. I really have to work my props, use different things. Someday I'm going to be fancy and get a ring light. Maybe not. I'm probably never going to be fancy and get a ring light. I prefer the randomness of the light. I don't even set my timer on my oven for pizza when I cook it, and I don't preheat the oven. I kind of like the randomness. You don't know exactly what you're getting. And if I had the perfect lighting every time, it might be a little boring. Certainly be a little boring for me. Where are you from? Isaac Mendez. Hello from Virginia. I so appreciate you joining. I'm from Naperville, Illinois, which is a town of about 145,000 people, about 35 miles west of Chicago. It's a town that I've been fortunate to call home since 2008. Hello, Marissa from Tennessee. It's weird. Somebody from Virginia popped on, somebody from Tennessee, and a lot of people from North Carolina watch. And I always talk about how I'd like to maybe live in North Carolina if I didn't live where I do, or if Tennessee comes to mind. I think I like the mountains and the hills and the greenery that is. Hello. Okay, you're from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I never really thought about moving to Fort Wayne, Indiana. No offense to the good people of Fort Wayne or the Fort Wayne Pistons. Do you know the Detroit Pistons used to be in Fort Wayne? Just think of it. I don't know. I don't know if anyone cares. I used to be a basketball fan. I was old enough to remember. Good morning from Wisconsin. That's another place I'd like. I think Wisconsin is West Virginia. It's a very bad city. Well, I definitely, I'm falling behind. I love all the question. I love all the interaction. Somebody doesn't care. Orlando, hello from Orlando. Virginia is beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, maybe I got to look at a map again, but I'm not exactly sure. I would think if I like North Carolina and I like Tennessee, I'd probably like Virginia. I think it's got to be right in there. Maybe. I don't know. But anyway, as I was saying, this isn't just a show. Ooh, it's going to be a hot one. The pressure in my pot. The coffee was desperate to get out, explode. They call this a carafe. I did a video on it and I called it a pitcher. And I had to look it up. They call it a carafe. A carafe to me has orange juice in it and it's glass and clear. But anyway, oh yeah. Oh yeah. This should be a regular part of my show. I don't really have a regular part of my show other than good morning, good morning, good morning to you. So funny. I don't know if I want to say this. I probably shouldn't. Probably won't. I've been divorced a couple times, and was divorced from my second wife, and had 3 beautiful stepkids with her, and one of them watches my show regularly, as does his friends. So when they see me, I don't know. They like talking about coffee with Ken. Probably more than they should. Probably more than their mother appreciates. They try to be nice and friendly at first and ask for money. Do I find scammers online? No, I don't. Then ask for money. I mean, I don't know. I don't hang out online all day. I live in New Hampshire, but love to live where there's less snow. Winters are too long here. I get that. I love snow, though. I could move to Wisconsin or move to Minnesota or something. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I'm reading the comments, and that's not what I need to do at this time. What I need to do is say, for those that have been watching, well, you know, it's a show about me sharing my love of coffee. And with that in mind, I got a nice hot cup of coffee in front of me. And I'm excited to have my first. Clay, what's up is I'm about to have my first sip of coffee. You should be having your coffee. You should run. Hello, Kayla from Ohio. You should run to your kitchen. You should grab your coffee with Ken mug that you no doubt have purchased. I've never even sold one. So you probably don't have one. But anyway, it's still dark here. Well, get up and get your coffee mug, and because I'm about to toast us to coffee. So anyway, I'm excited to have my first sip, and I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. When I poured it, I couldn't determine the exact flavor of what was made. I usually can smell the aroma, but I picked up a couple packs the other day. One is I don't want to say it because I haven't, yes, I'm in Illinois. I haven't revealed it's the pumpkin spice by Starbucks. It's interesting. I mean, I often say it's interesting, and I'm not totally sure if you find it interesting at all, but I guess it's my show, so I can say what I want. I find this interesting. I came across pumpkin spice. I'd never really had it before. I've only had one pumpkin spice latte in my life, and I did a live show taste test of it last year. But anyway, I discovered pumpkin spice as I was shopping the aisles of my local super Target, where ironically I now work. I don't know if it's ironically or just suckily, but either way, it's where I work. And I grabbed a generic bag of pumpkin spice. I think they call it their market pantry. And I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I drank it all the way through Christmas. And I started shifting over to the Starbucks. The Starbucks is a little more subtle flavor. Um, a little more subtle flavor. Uh, but I think the subtlety of the flavor kind of makes it nice. So I'm enjoying it. So, hi, Gary Scott. How are you? Thank you for joining. Maddie K or Mad K. What hair product you use, bro? Spidey, that's just too easy. Okay. I had one of my viewers complain about this the other day, but I'll tell you what. Somebody asked my shampoo I use. I use Irish Spring soap. When you're bald, you don't need as many products. You don't need conditioner. You don't need shampoo. What I do is I get a nice bar of green Irish Spring soap, rub it all up, lather it all up, and rub it all in and rub it all over my body. Then I rinse off. And then I usually shave, and I'll get to those products in a moment. And then I do the process again. Take the Irish Spring and rub it all over my body, and then rinse off. And usually I call that a day. 2 good scrubbing downs, top to bottom, with Irish Spring. And 1 good shave, which I do in the shower. And I shave my face and I shave my head every day. And it takes about 5 minutes. So that's what hair product I use. Do you guys find that interesting? Perhaps you do. I don't know. Maybe I have nothing to say. I'll drink some more coffee. Cheers. Good morning, Robert Patrick. How are you? Got a little soreness in my neck. Was worried I had a little bit of a crick. I hate if that would interrupt me getting huge. Most of you know, I probably mentioned this. I joined a gym about 8-9 days ago, and I've worked out every day but one. One day I took off from the gym and went to the pool and did 10 laps, which was hellish. It's the fun why this side neck. But anyway, I have been working out and feeling good and enjoying that. It's only been for a little over a week. If you're going to start a workout program, I wouldn't recommend bragging about it from day one. But I am. It kind of puts pressure on me to keep going, because like if I don't go, like if I stop, I mean, I could take off today or what have you, or tomorrow or what have you, but if I stop going, I'm going to start getting people making fun of me. Oh, you look sad. What happened to your thoughts from the gym show, Ken? Are you still working out at Planet Fitness? How's that membership working for you? You getting your money's worth? I thank you, Kayla. I challenge you to pass the state lifeguard test. No way, Robert Patrick. No way. Don't you have to like swim to the bottom and pull up a brick? I'd swim to the bottom and I'd grab that brick and I'd just go. Right now I couldn't even lift a brick, buoyant or not. But no, I wouldn't want to. I don't like swimming that much. I mean, I like being cool. I like jumping in the deep end and feeling that refreshing feeling. But I don't find swimming feels so good. I'm 50 years old and I'm in. Hey, well, good for you, Robert. I think that's awesome. I don't know. Are you a swimmer? I bet. Hello, RJ. Good morning, RJ. Welcome to the little gathering. What's RJ sending me? He's sending me a mic. RJ's sweet. And he's so full of gifts these days. He had the day off yesterday. We were hoping to get together. I don't even know. He kind of will reach out and kind of like suggest something, but he's more passive aggressive than I. And it's like 2 passive aggressive dudes that have never even met. And we'll go, hey, it would be neat to get together for lunch. And I'll go, yeah, that'd be neat to get together for lunch. And we both have lunch and we touch base and we connect and we go, what'd you have for lunch? Oh, I had a burrito. Oh, I had a gyro. And then RJ will say, but I added peanut butter to my gyro because I'm weird. He adds peanut butter to weird things. He's a sick man. I'm just kidding, RJ. But anyway, hello, Andre Smith. I don't know what I have for you. It's Sunday morning. It's a beautiful day. It's so quiet. There's no wind. The trees are all still. and it's my day I get to spend with my little nugget of love, Augie. And last night before I went to bed, actually, it's funny, not before I went to bed. I fell asleep at like, I don't even know, 8:30. I'm having a harder time. I keep wanting to watch a movie or even watch a Seinfeld before I go to sleep. But then I end up out. I mean, I guess I wake early. I do a coffee show early. I worked all day at Super Target stocking shelves yesterday. I went and worked out afterwards. I guess I needed a rest. I guess I needed a rest. I don't think peanut butter is that delicious, Christina. I understand. I get it. And I'm, hey, Flora from the Philippines. I appreciate you. How am I feeling? In what way? I'm feeling good, if you're talking to me. Creamy or chunky? I mean, I know for me it's creamy, but nobody cares what I like. I mean, I don't even like peanut butter, but if I had to have some, and we did used to spoon some out of the jar and lick them as a kid. A lot of the gross peanut butter and jelly sandwiches my mom, who I love very much and I miss very much, but she made gross peanut butter. She tried hard. She tried really hard. I feel she was a little overmatched, my mom, who passed 4 years ago. I had 2 older brothers and a younger sister, and we were all very explosive. And my mom, I don't think, was raised. She was the first person from her family that went to college, and she was always very proud of that. And she graduated from the University of Edinburgh in Scotland, where she grew up, which is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful school. It's, I don't know, probably like 700, 800 years old. That's what's cool about Europe. You get some really old stuff over there. And, but she wasn't ever really gifted as like a homemaker, but she tried real hard. And I feel bad I was probably not as kind to her as I should have been growing up, and probably complained that the peanut butter and jelly was gross because the grape jelly was leaking through the bread. And I don't know, we weren't raised with much money, so we didn't have all the niceties of some of the other kids, but she tried hard and she loved us a lot, and I miss her. What is something you collected as a kid? Pennies, for one. I have I was going to say I have it. My mom doesn't have it anymore, but I'm sure somewhere in some deep, dark crevice of a storage bin that my mom had before she passed, she probably had Ken's valuable stuff and my penny collections in there. And I collected just the Abe Lincoln pennies, which were originally minted in 1909 and are still minted today. And what was the? I think there was a one, like a 1909 SVDB, I think was the most valuable penny out there. But it's so neat collecting things, I guess. I look back on it, and in 1943 they changed because the war was going on, they changed what the mixture of the metals that go in a penny, and surprisingly it's not copper as much as you think. And the pennies actually were a silver color instead of a copper color that year, and I always thought that was neat. And we'd go to the Yorktown Mall in Downers Grove, or I guess it's officially in Lombard, and buy pennies from this collector. Seems so old school. But you could get some mint that came in these special packages that had never been opened. RJ has a quarter from the 40s that's valuable. That's cool. So what else do I have for you? Oh. Before I went to sleep, or after I went to sleep, because I fell asleep, because I was tired, because I worked, and I worked out. There's a coin store by Topgolf. I woke up at around midnight, and I just got a text from my daughter, and it's the sweetest thing. My daughter Erin meets me at church every Sunday now, and she lives with her mom in Oswego, she and her sister Morgie. And Erin, I think, is a lot like her dad in a lot of ways, and has an active mind and wants to calm it down and find places that are peaceful and calming to her. And I think we both found that churches fits the bill. And she meets me on Sunday mornings, and I tell her we're meeting at 10:30 because the church starts at 10:45, and invariably she shows up at 10:47. But I love her anyway. And she'll make an excuse like the line at Starbucks was long or something, but it's always the same. Brian's watching. College football is back. Does anyone know? Did my Flying Illini play yesterday? I don't know. I don't know. I did have posted a video this morning about not watching the news. I really don't even watch sports anymore. Part of me's sad about that. Part of me's sad. I think when I gotta sneeze, so bear with me if I sneeze. Okay. I might have to sneeze again. Oh, that feels so good. That feels so good. I know I talk about it every time I sneeze. Thank you, Brian. But I wouldn't give up sneezes if I could. You know, I don't know if anyone else out there feels the same. I don't know if anyone else feels the same, but the feeling of a sneeze, you know, is nearly orgasmic, and your head's clear. And, thoughts on how sports affects relationships, football widows. I wonder if it's sports as much as, I mean, I would imagine if I was married, a wife married to a man that watched, I don't know, I would assume, my thought would be this. I bet you the guy you married that is sitting on the couch watching football all day with his buddies probably did that when you were dating him. And if he did that when you were dating him and you thought that marrying him and maybe even having a couple kids with him would change him, might have been a mistake. Because people usually are who you tell them to be, or who they tell you, who they show you to be. And yeah, I would imagine anything, you know, I'd probably struggle with that. You know, if I got remarried and my wife was a huge football fan and wanted to spend her Saturdays watching football and I didn't want to, I probably wouldn't like it. Yeah, well, Madison said when a man shows you who they are, you should just believe them. Probably true. And a woman as well. Brian doesn't watch sports on TV. I used to. And I think I used to as an excuse to drink and smoke pot. Because when you're drinking and smoking pot, you don't need much extra entertainment to make it an awesome day. So if you're sitting on your couch and you got a 12-pack of Heineken and you got pot in your garage and you got a football game or two on and maybe a golf tournament that you can flip to, that's me flipping my remote, your day is set. But I'll tell you what, you stop drinking, life changes. Life changes, and it's not all perfect. It's not all perfect, but it's interesting, and what's important to you changes, and I think you're forced to fill your life up with better things like going to church, going to the gym, because they don't sell beer at church, and they don't sell beer at the gym, but they do at sporting events, they do at bowling alleys, and they do at golf courses. So when you cut your time back on those places, bars, bowling alleys, sporting events, and golf courses, you drink less and you spend your time with your kids at church or at the gym working out and improving yourself. Am I a channel flipper? Good morning, Lynn. Am I a channel flipper? Yeah. I mean, sorry. I mean, I think it's all right. I don't mind talking about slight difference. I get called sexist from time to time. That's fine. I see there's differences in most men and women. I almost want to say it's a man or a husband's job to sit there and push the button and flip channels. Because it really doesn't matter what you're watching. It matters more what you would be missing if you weren't flipping channels like a ninja. Channel flipper affects relationship. Well, again, did you marry a channel flipper? Did you marry a channel flipper? You probably did, and he probably always was. Maybe we guys, but there's pressure. There's a lot of pressure on men to be so super sweet when we're in the courting stage. It's true. It's true. We all know it. We all know it. I mean, it'd be in a perfect world, we'd stay that sweet. And we'd bring flowers and we'd bring chocolates and we'd do the niceties and we'd let the woman run the TV and But, I don't know. It's the courting phase. You put your best foot forward. That's what's so beautiful about this show. I'm not putting my best foot forward at all. Does Who Holds the Remote say anything? I don't know what you mean, RJ, but it's a good question. I think in a perfect world, and I talk about this a lot with interviews and or on dates or whatever, you should be who you are. Because if you're on an interview and you're pretending to be Joe guy that loves crunching numbers and you get that job crunching numbers, you're going to hate your life and you're going to hate your job. Or if you're with a woman that, you act like you don't like watching football games. And you're never going to watch football games. You'd rather take your honey to the ice cream parlor on a Sunday. You're going to be in trouble come Sunday's pro football season, and you want to watch football, and your wife thinks she married a guy that likes going to the ice cream shop with her on Sundays or going for long walks in parks. So in a perfect world, and I do believe we should be kind to others and considerate of others and good to others. But I think we should do it in an authentic way. And I think there's a tendency or almost a need or a requirement in the mating or the dating or the courting process or in the work chasing process to pretend you're something you're not a little bit. And hey, Lynn, thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. I've never been to Wingstop. Buffalo Wild Wings is pretty good. You know what you're getting. The beers come large, and it's pretty good. Walgreens or CVS? Walgreens. I don't ever really go to CVS. CVS is expensive. On dating profiles, women act like they enjoy men's activities. I love sitting with my man in a sweatshirt and watching football all day with his friends as they burp and fart. It's my favorite thing to do. Yeah. Yeah, Walgreens. To keep line forever if it works out. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. Like I said, even on the job front, I know you want to put your best foot forward and look nice and make a good presentation, but if it's so inauthentic to who you are, I think it's going to lead to troubles later, either in a relationship or in a job search. I had a pleasure of meeting a man yesterday as I popped in the grocery store on the way home from pumping iron. Actually, I didn't even pump any iron. I did some pull-ups and some planks. And when I said I did some pull-ups, ribeye for me too. When I said I did some pull-ups, I didn't even do one, but I got a half of one done. And I was getting close. But anyway, I had the pleasure of meeting a guy who had a Korean War hat on, veteran. And I love shaking veterans' hands because it makes me feel so good because they love it so much. Again, do things that make people happy and you too will be happy. I promise you. Make people feel good and you will feel good. Say nice things to people. Compliment your wife or your husband, or be friendly to the barista at Starbucks and make them laugh or smile, and you too will feel better. And one easy trick is if you see a man or a woman with it's honestly mostly men, wearing a veteran hat from a war, go up and shake their hands. They're wearing the hat. They've done things that I wouldn't dare do or I'd be too scared to do, and seen things I couldn't imagine seeing, and would probably wake me up at night 50 years later in a cold sweat. And especially when you see a guy with a Korean War hat, or occasionally I'll still see a guy with a World War II hat. It's a dying breed, and they're walking history books. And this guy, they love to tell little stories. And he fought like hell in Korea for 16 months after graduating ROTC. And I said, oh, so you went in as an officer. That might have made it a little bit easier. And he goes, it might have. Kind of gone, yeah. You get shot at. It doesn't really matter if you're an officer, if you're a first lieutenant or a private. Getting shot at probably sucks. He didn't say that, but that's what I was thinking. He's probably right. And we got to talk, and I think he said he was 90 years old, and his goal is, I love this. His goal was to die at a shot and killed by a jealous husband at 105. He was a charming fella, and I thought that was pretty funny. So let's have a little more coffee. You guys aren't even listening. I see this conversation about toothpaste and guacamole. Vietnam War, they were not treated right. Not at all, Madison. But I'll tell you, everybody appreciates it. What's cool is, there was a time when I think a lot of guys that were coming would have been, wouldn't have, it's cool that they wear their Vietnam vet hats with pride now. And you're right, they weren't treated right, and they were doing what they were told to do and doing a job that I'm fortunate I never had to do or was never called up to do. RJ says truck or car. I've never owned a truck. I owned a Jeep Liberty once. That doesn't overly count. I own a truck or a car currently. I would say as I age and as part of me longs for quieter life and more natural life and more acreage and more chopping wood and pulling logs and stuff, a truck occasionally does appeal to me. A truck does occasionally appeal to me. So I got a buddy that bought a really nice, I forget what it is. I don't even know if it's Ford or whatever. I think it's a Ford F-150, but loaded. And you can spend a lot of money on those these days. But anyway, I don't know. I'm not sure. Could you ever live off of the grid? Does the grid mean as truck sizes have increased due to area of impact and blind spots? Hold on. I'm going to touch Madison Letourneau. Madison, I would not be surprised about the pedestrian deaths. They're just small little accidents for sure. Because every time I get in my car and I look both ways, I got SUVs on both sides of me. And I'm backing up and I'm just rearing the horn, hoping nobody's back there going, I have no idea if you're back there or not, but better get out of my way because here I come. So yeah, it's dangerous. Coke by far. Could I live off the grid? Like so far, I could live in like I enjoy the connection. I'm planning to be doing coffee with Ken till I drop. So for any people that really want to invest in me long term, follow this story. My hairline will probably be the same. I'll look just as good. I might even be in better shape because I'll still be working out at Planet Fitness. But I'll be living in Montana, driving my truck, have a woman at my side, and maybe I'll have a third family. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry. IHOP or Denny's? Denny's. Could I live in a rural town under 50 people? That would be tough. Living in a rural town under 50 people. I don't even know if that's officially a town. I don't even know if under 50 people. I used to drive. I went to University of Illinois, and we'd take the back roads a lot. And my dad grew up in a tiny little town outside of Champaign, Illinois. But there was a town on the way called Strawn, and it had 150 people, and it was tiny. It had like one bar, which I stopped at once. One little tiny, might have had a gas station, but I'm not sure. And I would struggle living in that. I could see living off, away from a town, but I'd want to be able to drive 10 miles in and go to Starbucks maybe, or go to, I don't know, Walmart or Home Depot to get my things for hauling logs. Because middle of Wisconsin, because that's what I'm going to need to do, haul logs. I wonder if it pays well hauling logs for a living. Or am I going to have to make $1 billion to purchase this massive ranch with the mountains in the back? Have you guys seen Yellowstone? Maybe that's what's planted in my mind. I don't even ride horses. I'm probably even a little afraid of horses. But the idea of going out and riding your horse and fixing a fence post. I don't even know if I could fix a fence post. but I'd have to learn how to fix a fence post. If I got this hypothetical ranch in Montana with my truck and my 4x4s, my river running through it. I have a great imagination, and every time a river runs through my ranch, I think of myself looking like Brad Pitt fly fishing. I'd have to get a wig and a totally new physique and a prettier face to really live up to Brad Pitt. I bet we might be the same height, so I maybe already have that going. Anyone know how tall Brad Pitt is out there? They don't snowplow most streets. I'll plow most streets. In my hypothetical world, I'm going to have one of those huge snow plows on my truck anytime we get any snow. And I'm going to come on down and go to my neighbors and plow their driveway, because that's the neighborly thing to do. And I'm going to be neighborly wherever I live on my ranch. Hey, RJ, thank you so much for sharing the live. I'm supposed to encourage more viewers to share the live. Madison Laterno says, Team Jen, Brad Pitt is 5'11"? That's disappointing. That's disappointing to me. Well, I appreciate it, Kyle Dunn and Madison Laterno. It's so funny, Team Jen. I feel bad for him. I have a different perspective on that whole Jennifer Aniston Brad Pitt divorce than I did a couple of years ago. I feel bad for both of them. There's a funny Simpsons episode where Homer drives a snowplow. You remind me of that. Brad Pitt being 5'11". I mean, 5'11's a decent height. Who's my celebrity crush? Come on, you know, RJ, you know who it is. You mean, is it are we talking a man? I mean, I don't know if I have a female celebrity crush. I really don't. But I have men celebrity crushes. Maybe that's weird. Marky Mark is my celebrity crush for men. Although he's probably really short. I mean, God didn't make anybody perfect. God didn't make anybody perfect. If Marky Mark was 6'2", he'd just be too cool. He'd be too cool to handle. He sings, he dances, he's strong, he's funny. But he's short. So it always kind of equalizes us a little bit. Who's yours besides Ken? That's funny, Bloom. Taylor Swift? No, I don't even know. I mean, I don't know how prettiness matters. And I mean, I don't want to diss Taylor Swift, because I thought I had some people hating me over the last couple of years. If I said anything bad about Taylor Swift, I might get an army of 15-year-old girls coming in saying horrible things. I don't hate Tom Cruise. I like him because he's short, you mean? I like Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise gets a bad... I don't know. I just don't understand it. I mean, I don't know much about Scientology, and honestly, I don't care too much about Scientology. As long as he's not sacrificing people on an altar, I'll let his religion be his religion. But I think the thing he was famous for was hopping up on his couch during an Oprah show and saying proudly how much he loved the woman he was married to. I forget her name. And I thought that was kind of cool. I don't understand. I don't know. I don't understand what's wrong with that. He was excited, he was in love, and he wanted the world to know about it. And I'm not sure why people made fun of it. The Rock's pretty cool, I'll tell you that. Madison suggested that The Rock could be my celebrity crush. He's tall, I assume. How tall is The Rock? It is a beautiful day here. Thank you. How tall is The Rock? Katie Holmes, that's right, Katie Holmes. Yeah, I don't know why people made fun of him at all for that, honestly. I think I think we can bring other aspects of his life, and I don't know why anyone, I don't know. I don't know anything about Scientology. I'm going to a Christian church in a couple hours. I might be a heathen for saying I've got no issue with Scientology, but I don't know anything about it. All I know is there was a book they used to sell by L. Ron Hubbard. That's all I know. What's the coffee? The coffee is the pumpkin spice. Why don't I have any women celebrity crushes? I don't even want to say the real answer because I'll get made fun of. I'll get made fun of. Huh. I'll get made fun of. It's going to sound weird, but I have one crush in this world right now. And it's something I'm working through and something I've touched on before and something I've talked about before. I still have a crush on my ex-wife. And that makes life confusing and makes life hard and makes divorce painful and makes breakups painful and has made things painful. Yeah. So, yeah. I used to always say she was the most beautiful woman I ever saw, and I still think that. And I didn't want to get divorced, and I wanted things to be different. And I think I wanted her to be different, but that's not fair, so I needed to be different, and maybe I wasn't different enough. And I don't know. So that's probably why I don't have a celebrity crush. So, yeah. I'm going to drink a little bit more coffee. I appreciate you guys. What's weird and scary is being able to, yeah. No, that's probably true, Madison. That's probably true. I mean, I had bigger emotions and more passion and more moments that meant so much. Yeah. Yeah. AJAK. I had somebody called Shit Kicker on. AJ. I got AJ and RJ. We need a TJ, maybe even a KJ, a BJ. What's the perfect cup of coffee? The one you got. You gotta love the one you're with. The perfect cup of coffee is the one in my hand. It's this pumpkin spice with a dark roast. It's not a dark roast. It's not a dark roast. It's a pumpkin spice. And it's a perfect cup of coffee. And the next cup might be perfect too, and I might add a little cream to it just for fun. And we might switch up the coffees and go for, I don't know, I got some caramel salted vanilla mocha thing in there that I could switch to, and maybe that'd be a perfect cup of coffee. Thank you so much for joining, Madison. I so appreciate that. Do I ever add sugar? No, I do not. Strange that I don't. If I get an iced coffee, I'll sometimes tell them to put a pack or two of sugar in the raw in it. And I really enjoy the slightly sweet of a cold coffee. But for some reason, I never, ever, ever, I don't know if I've ever, sorry to get mad at you, but put a scoop of sugar in a hot cup of coffee. Anyone see the movie True Romance? Anyone out there see the movie True Romance? A very great movie. Was Quentin Tarantino, one of his, it was before Pulp Fiction, and Christian Slater was stirring some sugar, and he was on a first date, and he said he doesn't think he's put enough sugar in until the spoon stands straight up. And RJ, True Romance, great movie, great movie. I'm getting the chills just saying it, because anybody that's never seen it before is in for a treat. It's just a great movie, and it's came out before it was written by Quentin Tarantino before he did Pulp Fiction or Reservoir Dogs, and it was a great movie with a lot of great actors and incredibly great intense scenes. You should watch it. And I'm probably over talking it. Whenever anybody over talks something, you're going to be disappointed. You're going to watch it and you're going to go, well, Ken really talked it up. So don't go in expecting that. But there's some amazingly intense scenes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And great scenes. I tried to watch Reservoir Dogs the other, I don't know, a week ago or so. And yeah, there's some intense scenes in that, but they're too gruesome. They're just too gruesome. And I don't like ultra violence or really gross stuff. And I'm in Naperville, Illinois. Ever see The Notebook? Yes. My ex-wife made me watch The Notebook. It's a sweet movie, I think. I don't remember the details, but I do remember it. What was the movie? What was the movie? Sorry, I'm thinking of Seinfeld now. The English Patient. Has anyone seen The English Patient out there? Yeah, no, Christian Slater was. Allison, have you seen True Romance with Christian Slater? I bet you have. I bet you have. Has anyone seen The English Patient? I've never actually seen The English Patient, and I've talked about this on my live show before, but Seinfeld was such a funny, funny, funny show that Elaine saw The English Patient, and everyone was telling her how beautiful it was and how great it was, and she went and she couldn't stand it, and she told her boss this, and he goes, what? How could you not have liked The English Patient? It was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And she goes, try, it sucked. And I've never actually seen it. True Romance has a 93% rating. I don't know what rating that is, but it is good. AJ, if you haven't seen it, I would strongly recommend anybody. No, it's not. Well, it's beautiful right now. Yeah, can you see the grass? Yeah, it's beautiful. And that's what I love about Illinois. I couldn't move to Arizona. I couldn't move to Texas because, I like the greenness that is Illinois. And you can find it in other states, but I really enjoy it. But again, anybody out there that hasn't seen True Romance and is looking for an awesome movie, go see it tonight. Or go see it. It's, 30 years old. It's amazing how fast time flies. I remember seeing it in like 1992 when I lived in Chicago at the... It's a theater right by Michigan Avenue, and probably one of the most expensive areas of all of Chicago. And I forget the name of the theater. It was a beautiful apartment I lived in. Oh yeah, it was. I miss the city a little bit. I mean, I don't want to live there again. Life's changed so much. I'm older now. I got different wants and quieter wants. But just looking back on those times in the early 90s when I lived in these beautiful apartments in the city and could run along Lake Michigan, and on a hot day you could jump into the lake right there, and just all the beautiful and exciting times and sights and sometimes smells that weren't so exciting. Do a live downtown Chicago. That would take some work, but it would be cool. Finish the coffee. I appreciate it, RJ. But I appreciate you. I want to finish my coffee and get going with my day. I don't have my watch on, and I got to pick up my little nugget of love at 9 o'clock. I don't know what time it is. Does somebody know what time it is? Either way, I'm getting hungry, and I want 7:08. That means I've been talking almost an hour. RJ's sending me a hat and mustache. Anytime I get that mustache and my little sombrero, I want some Mexican music playing. I don't know what I'm talking about, but maybe you know what I'm talking about, and I feel like Pepe from Pepe's Tacos or something like that. And there I am. I was doing a video yesterday, and I know you pay for those, so I so appreciate it, because I actually get paid. I think I might have made $5.63 on yesterday's video, and that's the sweetest thing. I was doing some sort of serious moment in my video, and all of a sudden I looked up and I had a Knight's helmet on. And there's my little face peeping through a Knight's helmet. It's a strange thing TikTok's got going with that. I don't know. It's strange, but it's funny, and I appreciate it. So, and I appreciate you guys. And I hope you're feeling good on this Sunday morning. Hope you had a wonderful night's sleep. Hope you're enjoying your weekend. Hope you're working towards something. Eat at Front Street Cafe in downtown Naperville. All right. I hope you're working towards something, because life's so much. You don't have to be there. I can't do a pull-up. I cannot do a pull-up, and I'm still got 10 pounds of flab around my belly that I wish I didn't. But you don't have, The joy isn't the six-pack or the 10 pull-ups. The joy is working towards it. And you can apply that to anything, a relationship, spirituality, a quest to get better at running, at biking, at swimming, or to learn chess. You know, it's not about getting to the top of the mountain. It's about climbing up the mountain. So whatever you're doing, if you're not happy with where you are financially today, and honestly, I'm not happy with where I am financially today, you know, start working on it today and do something that's going to put you in a better spot tomorrow, or it won't happen tomorrow, but in 6 months or a year, you'll be in a better spot physically, financially, spiritually, relationship. Start a process, start doing something and working towards something. Because that's what I'm doing. I'm working towards something and I'm working towards so many things. I forget sometimes where I'm headed, but it's fun. Because we are works in progress. And, well, Jenny Ben, thank you so much. I hope you follow my page. It's just a guy talking and drinking some coffee, sharing some experiences. I've had a lot, and I appreciate you all for joining. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you are feeling good. I hope you are loving yourself. I hope you're forgiving yourself. And I hope your coffee is hot. And finally, I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.